Hello, everybody. Welcome back to When the Night Comes. Wow, I literally just started recording. Fun fact behind the scenes right now. And so I do not have anything, but I literally just got out of the shower too. Like, look at my wet hair. Anywho, we are in Alcar's, I'm going to call it a cove just because it's fun. I know it's not a cove because I think coves have to be like by the water, but it's a little cave. So he says, "What brings you here, mighty hunter?" "Instincts." Alcar throws me a smirk. He opens an iron chest next to the stove and pulls out a jar of something dried, then joins me by the cushions. Prying the lid open, he offers me the treat. "Is this dog chow?" "If you're a dog, everything you eat is dog chow. So are you a dog?" "Technically, I'm a Ddog." Hey. No, mate, it's fucking candied fruits. It's still gross. I'm not a big fan of candied fruits. I snort, but I take a piece. "So I'm not under arrest. Nothing has exploded in the town that I know about. You cut your feelings, or you cut your feelings or something?" "No, It is then I realize I don't know what the hell I've come to him for. Really, comfort? Going to Alcar for comfort? Not likely. Though now that I'm here, there is something I need to tell him. The hunter you attacked, well, the one who attacked you were imprisoned for, I should say." Alcar's wolf ears immediately flatten to his head, and I can see his jaw clench, but he looks straight at me, eyes red sharp. "Yeah? His name is Azazel. He found signs of him in the dungeons." "We found signs of him in the dungeons. I told you, it's my first recording session. It's going to take me a while to read." Alcar inhales sharply, then sighs, the relief evident in the drop of his shoulders, but then he raises his eyebrows.
"Wait, in the dungeons? The dungeons where they kept me? What did he do?"
"We don't know, but he was there, and I'm sure he was at least alive when you were taken in." "Then why did they..." I mean, I don't know. It's a great question. Why, if he was alive, why would they charge Alcar for something that technically he didn't do? I mean, he didn't do anyway, but still. Alcar snorts, and this time this sound is bitter. He gets to his feet and begins to pace, tightening the bandages around his hands. I can feel his upset, the intensity of it, and under all that, brewing resentment. I can't blame him. "You keep using past tense. What happened to this Azazel bloke? Ugh, I can't talk. Ugh. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know what happened to him." Alcar pauses and looks at me in disbelief. After a moment, however, he sighs and comes back to sit down again. "Guess that's why you're here." "To tell you, yeah, that's why I'm here."
"Your employers sure like to keep shit hush-hush. Figured as much. But thanks for telling me. It's been sitting like a fucking gravestone on my mind since... Well, now I feel pretty fucking bummed out, actually. I can't believe they put me through that shit for something that never even happened."
"Okay, I'm sorry. This shouldn't have happened. They had no right."
They don't need rights. They only needed a reason and the upper hand.
What's wrong is wrong. What, he's right, and are you always this pessimistic? Well, there's no reason for me to say that. I'm not a rude ass. I don't understand this one. What's wrong is wrong. How about, he's right. The bitter pessimism in Alcar's words sting, but they sting no worse than thoughts I myself have had in the past. A reason and the upper hand is sometimes all we need, isn't it? A weapon, a reason, and the upper hand. And now my weapon feels heavy at my side. And what are you going to do about all this? My goal is to find the truth. That's all I can do, isn't it? No, that's what I must do now that we've come this far. That's all I ask too. His hand closes around my wrist. I raise my eyes from the floor to look at him, and the sheer intensity from which he stares back at me, the sheer sincerity in his eyes almost carries the force of a blow. Y'all see this hair that's in my throat. I can't. I hate. This is why I don't record until my hair is dry, because it is wanting to curl up in my face. Moving on. Thank you. Oh, that's it. Usually when it gives me multiple options, I go through all of them. I ventured deeper into the catacombs, the darkened tunnels becoming somewhat familiar to me now. I hear a quiet laugh, and I smiled to myself as a figure appears from the shadows. "What's cooking, good looking?" "Ah, hi, Raven. May I escort you to Lord Casimir's lair? I mean, not that you have a choice, I'm terribly bored." I begin walking, and Raven falls into step by my side. Though she walks backwards, those crimson eyes not leaving my face for even a second. Does she not trust me? I mean, I did only meet her once, but does she not trust me? Why are you bored? Sun's up, can't do much other than annoy Finn, and now that you're here, you're here to Sun's up, can't do much other than annoy Finn, and now you're here to do that, I assume. More like work, I suppose. She snorts again, and it's quickly becoming a familiar sound. He works too much, all of you. Then she skids to a stop in front of me as we reach Finn's door, her hand raised. Listen, I just want you to know that we have your back. Not that Finn wouldn't have already told you that, but it's important to me that you know. The way she looks at me tells me I can believe her, that Raven is local to a fault, and that I'm lucky to have such allies. Thank you, appreciate it. Now let me go talk to Finn again. Ah, sweet. Now go do your boring important people stuff, I guess. Yes, boring important people stuff, the best part of the job. In a flash, she's gone, absorbed by the darkness. The door to Finn's room opens with a quiet creak before I can raise my fist and knock, and he greets me with a smile. Afternoon, please come in. I eagerly step inside, the candlelight that flickers in his lavish quarters decidedly more inviting than the dank hallways. I heard Raven lurking. She didn't bother you, did she? I shake my head as he moves to lean against his desk. She was fine, if not a little strange. He tilts his head this way and that, feigning tossing around a deep thought in his mind before grinning. Strange is her speciality. We should discuss Fierro, discuss what Piper and I found down there. His expression neutralizes, his posture becoming tense. Yeah, we should. I have some concerns, as I'm sure you do. What could they want with his blood, Finn? I'm no expert, but if I'm not mistaken, vampire blood can be harmful to anything that isn't of your kind. He stares off into the distance for a moment. The look is pensive, as if he's considering his next words very carefully.
What do you know of your initiation? Of what they put you through when you're chosen?
I open my mouth to respond, but I find myself having nothing to say. I remember a little of what happened back when I was just a child, back when I first arrived at the academy. I remember waking up and feeling different, feeling strong. I frown, frustrated that I can't recall such a pivotal moment in my life, the moment that quite literally made me who I am. I can feel him watching me carefully, and when I meet his gaze, his eyes are sad.
I know little of what they did to make you the way you are, but I've been around long enough to hear rumors. Nothing about what's happening here adds up. Of that much I'm sure. The only person who has answers is Harry, but we can't even trust the man who swore to lead and protect you.
If they're taking Fierro's blood, it's not with good intention. Vampire blood can be incredibly dangerous if used with malicious intent. We need to get him out of there. I search my brain for ideas, solutions, literally anything. The silence we stand in is heavy with our contemplation, and something hits me. When I first encountered the creature, it almost felt like I'd been enthralled. As if it compelled you to just freeze. It manipulated you. Manipulated. Then something clicks. Fierro's an empath, right? He can feel both emotion and manipulate it. Yes, and he's incredibly powerful. Levi wouldn't have looked at him twice if he wasn't different. There are other vampires with such abilities. Even I can influence people's thoughts, but not to the extent that he can. I think about the implications of what kind of power falling into the wrong hands, how they leave me feeling leaden in place. Can these abilities be transferred, say, through consuming his blood? I can't say I've ever heard of such a thing being done, but it's certainly not impossible. That creature, if it has been given his blood, why? What could that have possibly achieved? I take a deep breath, trying to gather my thoughts. Already they're heavy in my mind at what this might mean. Something new, something powerful. Okay, rumors. The rumors you've heard about the initiation, can you tell me? He grips the edge of his desk, the wood creaking beneath his fingertips.
There are many things about the agency's practices that I've heard over the centuries. None of them are particularly kind, but most sound too far-fetched to be plausible. My personal favorite is that hunters grow on trees. Were you grown on a tree?
I don't think I was grown on a tree, if I had to guess. I laugh, rolling my eyes. Point taken, not all of them are exactly sane rumors then. No, but with everything that's been going on around here lately, stranger things have happened. I process everything as best as I can on such little sleep, yet again feeling out of my depth, but somehow closer to the truth. Our priority is getting Fierro out of there, but we also have other concerns to attend to. I can have the clan work on an extraction plan. Now we know exactly where he is. Leave that to us. At least that's one less thing for you to worry about. Though I could use your help enlisting Merriman to assist. We could do with someone on your side. Consider it done. You'll let me know if you need me too, though. He nods, reaching for the door to open it for me. Of course, now stay safe, won't you? I shall. I will, just need to see Ezra about our little demon friends. Well, have fun with that, Ddog, and good luck. To Ezra we go. We fast traveled, apparently. The shop is busy when I arrive, but Ezra does an excellent job of remaining professional when he spots me. I linger in the corner while he rings up the final customers, surveying the volumes upon volumes of magical literature he has on display. The sleepy white cat from before is curled up on the countertop, and she lazily raises her head when I approach as the bell signals that the final customer has left. Her eyes glow a vivid aquamarine, and she's certainly unlike any feline I've ever seen before. Her name is Coco. He scratches her chin, and she purrs her thanks before gracefully jumping down, heading for the back room with a swish of her tail. She's got a bit of an attitude problem. I think I've spoiled her a little too much. How long have you had her? His mouth twists to the side while he thinks. She followed me home one night when I was a child, maybe 10, 11 years ago. She's not exactly a normal cat, but I've never really bothered to find out what she might be or where she's from. She's just Coco. We'll value her privacy.
What can I do for you? Is it about the tall, blonde, utterly terrifying woman you sent my way last night?
I grimace, taking a deep breath. My mind is once again overflowing with revelations, new information I've barely had time to process. Sorry about that, but no, I had a chat with our demon friends. I study his expression carefully, but I see nothing to indicate that he has any idea what I'm about to say. And how adept are you at closing hell portals? Have you ever just wanted to hey, how good are you at closing literal doors to hell? Like, let's just say there's a door, right? I'm assuming it's in a door form and not just like a portal going pew pew. Could you shut it? Do they make master locks for it? What? Yeah, that's the correct response. Good job, Ezra. I almost can't help but laugh at the way his eyes widen. Then, a flicker of realization, his shoulders sinking under the weight of it.
Oh no, I can't believe I didn't think to check. I've been so caught up with everything else that I just... Fuck.
We have no choice. He's obviously distressed that such a thing could fly under his radar, and I gather that Ezra has quickly put the puzzle pieces together. Ezra isn't stupid. He knows what this means, what the tear between realms has brought upon this town. We have to act quickly. We have no choice but to find a solution, and fast. He clears his throat, snapping himself from his daze.
Yes, I mean, there will be, not that I'm familiar. It will require a great deal of research, and I doubt I'll be able to do that alone.
Gus? He smiles.
August is very powerful, as I'm sure you can already tell. So, with their help, hopefully it's something we can achieve.
We don't have much of a choice. It can't fail. Of course. I look at him and he processes all of this, his fingers visibly twitching at his side, eyes flicking to the endless rows of books that line his walls. Ezra, I know you can do this. Please don't worry. He offers me a smile, but it's a sorry thing, timid almost.
I'm glad that you have some faith in me, at least. I'm just so angry with myself. I was the first person Omen found when he arrived. I should have known.
I tended to his wounds, saw the markings. I should have checked. Markings? I think back to the odd way that Omen rubbed his neck, because he was always trying to cover something. Obviously. Demons from other realms often have a sigil or rune that grants them access to their home, so it would make sense for him to have one, I suppose. But healed? To what extent did Omen go to? You should ask Omen, it isn't my place. Of course, but I think you can give yourself a pass on this one. It isn't exactly common to have a Prince of Hell stumble into your shop now, is it? It takes him a moment, but a small smile crosses his lips.
I appreciate the faith you show in me. I'll try my best. Anything to keep the town safe.
Now, do you want to tell August, or shall I? The very loud burst of laughter tells me I might be the one tasked with such a pleasant conversation. Cool. I know it said excellent. I like putting my own flair on things. Piper opens the door with a smile as I advance to the next stop on my tour. Afternoon, just gonna stand over there or what? I roll my eyes, kicking off my boots as I enter. We take a seat upon the sofa, Piper tucking her feet beneath her, relaxed in her surroundings. I had a very eventful evening. She sits a little straighter, eyebrow quirked in interest. Oh yeah? Yeah, with your favorite cultist, actually. The noise that she makes is interesting. Ugh, her. How awful for you, my sympathies. Rather you than me, I suppose. What gives? You know, the usual. Just her making friends with the thing that terrorizes us. Normal cultist stuff. I wish I could say I'm surprised. Was it at least a productive conversation? Yes, it helped, which is better than nothing, right? Better than nothing. I take a deep breath, considering my next words carefully. We should talk about Aya. What about what we found down there? Her shoulders slump and she averts her gaze, her eyes sad. Yeah, I haven't stopped thinking about it all. Fiero, Aya, everything. Oh my god, I just had a realization, you all. We can't find Aya, right? What if somehow the demon thing is Aya? Stay with me. Stay with me. Here's the plan. I think maybe they were like, we're gonna use you. We're gonna stuff this vampire blood inside you. Just gonna take it and stuff it inside of you. And now, boom, you've become the demon thing. And now they're like, we can't stop it. Someone needs to go. And that's why it attacks hunters, because it was a hunter in its former life. I'm not crazy, I swear. Okay, anyway, that is my thought. Back to this.
How can we work for people who do that? Who forge records, who imprison their own for nothing?
Aya is innocent, that much I know, and Azazel, I still can't say that name. Azazel, he's down there because he supposedly got attacked. It continues to make no fucking sense. I agree with her, but we have little time for frustration. We have to begin acting now. The clan are preparing to get Fier out of the dungeons. We can't leave them in there, not now that we know what they're doing. Finn was wondering if you'd mind assisting them. Of course I will. Anything to stick it to those arsehole enforcers. Oh, man. Do I mention the blood to her or not? It's not really her business, right? Like, it's not mine to say. She already knows because she was there when he found out they were taking his blood. She just doesn't know why. So it would make sense to not tell her. It makes sense to not tell her. I'm just going to leave it. As much as I want to tell her that what Finn and I discussed, I can't help but feel like Piper has enough on her mind. Yeah, I don't want to overwhelm her as well. Aya, on top of that fact that she was demoted because she was right. How are you doing after all this? She huffs a quiet little laugh, shrugging. I don't really know.
Before all of this, I was just angry. Angry that I got punished for caring too much, which isn't something I ever really did before. Now I just feel numb.
It's going to be okay. There. Pat, pat, pat. Right, how could it possibly get any fucking worse? Well, you could be dead. There's the big one. That's probably how it could be worse. I grimace and Piper laughs. Don't say that. Now we're really fucked. With a groan, I reluctantly tear myself from the comfort of her sofa. The mere thought of dragging myself across the street to the wolf makes me want to weep, but I really should check in with August. I need to go visit our dear enforcer. Have fun with that, I suppose. She crinkles her nose in disgust, and I can't help but laugh at the expression. Thanks. I head for the door, turning to look at her one last time before she yells. When she yells. Wouldn't want to be. Okay, whatever. In the aftermath of what we learned, August and Ezra were quick to action, gathering supplies and the instruments required to perform the spell. That was the first day. Then time stretched on. 1 day, 2 days, 4, a week. Knowing that everything was leading up to this moment and that it might not even work was very stressful, to say the least. What if they couldn't close it? What if the creature is still the strong without this unseen force feeding it? Those worries lingered, but I found ways to distract myself. I hunted nightly. I spent time training with Piper, studying with August, kissing Omen. There was also Omen. Stolen moments with him amongst all the chaos, moments that only solidified my feelings for him. Then a knock on my door one night. The news I'd been waiting for. It's time. Your Grubhub order has arrived. I'm kidding. I step outside just in time to watch the sunset over the horizon. The sky darkens and the clouds are tipped with orange, then purple, until all that hangs over me is endless black. Somehow I feel lighter than ever as I head for the forest, a funny kind of hope settling in my gut. Ezra and August are standing alone, but together. I think back to the moment in Ezra's shop, the reconciliation between the two, the shift in how they hold themselves, a weight finally released. Together, I have no doubt that they're unstoppable. There's only one way to find out, and that's if you can close a literal door to hell. Oh, Omen and Elaine had entered our realm right on the edge of town, just as the cobblestones fade into the dirt. The trees are denser here, everything a little less ominous. I find Ezra and August exactly where they said they would be, both of them looking a little pensive. Ah, right on time. I know you don't suffer tardiness. Very good. Now, shall we get on with it, I suppose? Ezra had already laid out his supplies, a neat little pile of strange things you could only ever find in a magic shop. Like a wand, fake handcuffs, a wooden spoon? I don't know. A dove? Multiple doves? There's a symbol drawn on the forest floor that looks startlingly similar to the pentagram, with a few minor changes. Ezra catches me looking and offers me a shrug, as if saying, of course us closing a portal to one of the many hells would require such a thing. Just another day in Lunaris. Let's get this over with. He pulls a vial from his belt, the liquid dark and viscous. From my experience, I recognize it as demon blood. Omen gave it willingly. I didn't stab him or anything, he just, that's what he did. I think we know that, Ezra. Just checking. He pours the blood upon the ground at their feet, the faintest shimmer shining in the grass when it makes contact. They join hands and begin chanting, words that I can't say. From the fire of earth. More words I can't say, to the fire of hell. The shimmer grows in luminosity. It pulses brighter still, then it's almost blinding. I step back, watching on their grip on one another tightens, their eyes aglow, legs shaking. Ezra almost falters, but August holds him steady and gives him strength. Look at all these words I can't say. We call to he who rules this realm. More words I can't say. Close this gate. The ground beneath our feet rumbles and it shudders and shakes from their incantation, a vibration I feel deep in my bones. Look at all these words I can't say. Close this gate. Then, stillness, silence. Slowly, they release one another, exchanging appraising glances at their current state. There is some haggard breathing, but they're apparently fine. They turn their attention back to the tear. Or former tear. Is it done? Did it work? Did you say all the words I cannot say? Perhaps the question was too soon. It tumbles out before I can stop it, and it echoes loudly. Yet if seeing that hazy portal wink out was nothing to go by, I damn well better ask.
I think it did. The energy still lingers, but I no longer feel anything pulling at me. Not like I did when we first arrived.
The only way to know for sure is to get Omen or Elaine to check for us.
Well, I bet I know who Omen is fancying right now. Let me just pull up my little phone here and beep-a-da-bop-a-da-boop and be like, hello, Omen. Yes, babe. Please come check this portal for me. Ezra is interrupted by a chorus of yelling and terrible screaming. As if all at once, the air is kicked from our lungs and whatever brief moment of relief we had is extinguished at the sound.
It's coming from town. But we need to...
Oh God, everyone's exploding and dying. Okay, no, let's go to town and figure that out first. We both look at him, hesitant, but time is of the essence and we know we have no choice. Stay safe. Head straight home as soon as you're done. You're exhausted yourself enough for one evening. Lunaris is in chaos. There's blood on the streets. Of its owner, I'm not entirely sure, but I know exactly what it is the second I see Piper rushing towards us. Her dagger's drawn, her aura thrums with adrenaline, and it bleeds into mine as her approach.
Report.
Yes, report to us. It's that thing. I saw it with my own eyes. Ugly motherfucker, isn't it? Where is it now?
It was heading straight for headquarters. Had this mad look, like it couldn't see anything else. The witches scared it off and distracted it. It scurried into the forest, but I couldn't catch it.
Good. No one should face it alone. It's got the power of making you stand still with its eyes. I'm right. I mean, Ddog is right. We cannot risk losing anyone else, especially not you two. We're the most important. We have to end this. Are we ready? I'm gonna do that one. My heart races. Its uneven thump rattles my ears. I can't help but feel like we're not ready for this, like we might never be ready for this. But it's my duty. I look to the townsfolk and see the fear in their eyes, and I know that it's time. We should. Yes, we've got no time to waste.
I'll stay here. They're afraid. This is their nightmare. I can at least try to make sure they feel safe.
I look off into the distance, the forest calling to me. The tip of my fingers tingle, every nerve ending set alight as my adrenaline spikes. Well, I'm the thing that monsters have nightmares about. Let's finish this. I got my dagger, I got my sword. We're gonna fight all the people. We head towards the forest, leaving the town in chaos behind us. I stop dead in my tracks as the houses fade out, something telling me to pause to think. August, you should stay with Piper just in case it... I pause, taking my breath. I can handle this. Hunter, I don't doubt that, but you're also one person. We shouldn't split up. This is not Scooby-Doo. Sorry, that's not what he said. I'd hate to leave you alone. I smile at them, and they throw me an incredulous look. I won't be alone. I have the dead guy that talks to me in my head. They frown, their eyes flicking towards the tree line, and then when they relax, I suspect they see exactly what I see. Very well. I'll fall back, keep the townsfolk safe. They reach out and place their hand upon my forearm, squeezing gently. Their eyes are sad, but earnest, proud.
Show it no mercy, just as it has shown none to us.
I nod, knowing I won't let him down, unless I let him down, in which I will be dead and I will haunt him forever. Oh, sorry. I won't let anyone down. That's more important. Yes, General. Reluctantly, they turn on their heel, immediately barking orders at a group of enforcers that scurry towards them. I see his tail first, a peak of its point curling out from behind a tree trunk before his head follows, his eyes wide in the darkness.
Beloved.
Oh, hi there, cutie. How you doing? I laugh, relieved to see him. I agree. Hello. Were you following me? He blushes, then he nods.
I feel responsible, so I want to help if I can.
Okay, let's be clear. Just because you're cute, you are responsible. You're the one who opened the door that let the thing in. You were like, here, come torture this down. I take his hand, lacing our fingers together and reveling in the unmatched warmth of him. His tail curls around my wrist. Time for us to finish this together like a couple. It doesn't take us long to find the creature's obvious path of destruction. Blood and ichor cover the ground, its own, I assume. There's a path of trees that have been felled, jagged claw marks covering the splintered bark. Omen quickly moves in front of me, placing a hand upon my chest and fixing me with a steady gaze.
I will protect you, Sehewa. I know you don't need it, but I will.
You can protect me all you want. Also, Gesundheit. I don't know what you said right then. I'm assuming you sneezed. I step closer, taking his face in my hands and bringing his forehead until it rests against mine. We'll finish this together. He reaches up to take a hold of my wrist, turning his face to press a kiss to each of my palms. His cheeks pink, not peak. Together. Then we see the creature lumbering into the clearing, too close to the town for comfort, too alert and entirely focused on me. Only me. Omen's demeanor shifts and changes in an instant, the air around us growing thick and hot. I idly wonder if the creature knows exactly what it's dealing with, who it's dealing with. I'll keep it distracted using my sexy fire eyes that I have. Look at them. They look into your soul. It straightens up, taller than I remember, but still no taller than me. Let's send this thing back to where it came from, which is technically your home. Let's send it to your father. I propel myself forward, unafraid, kicking up dirt, and Omen sets the ground around me alight, a pathway of flame ensuring it has nowhere to escape. I throw back my fist, landing the first hit with a satisfying smack. The impact reverberates through my knuckles, and I reach for my weapon as the creature gathers itself. Omen and I fall into an easy routine as if we've been doing this forever. He keeps it distracted, raining flame and fury upon it as I lay into it with every ounce of unbidden power that surges through my body. We violently clash, nothing but a flurry of frenzied movements and strikes. I swing hard at the beast, earing to stick to my typical strategy of attack, not letting the furious tempo of this battle overtake my senses. However, there's a method to its madness, and its poise and posture remain, something more than brute strength keeping it steady. When finally one of the attacks connects, the creature lets out a horrifying scream, something that could bloody my ears, and it near sends me to my knees. I dial back to catch myself, vision blurring. Omen lets down his guard for the briefest of moments to check on me, and he's thrown to the ground beside me. He skids to a stop as he hits the trunk of a tree already splintered by the creature's hand. It's strong, stronger than we anticipated, but more than that, despite its haggard appearance, it fights like I do. Calculated, precise, calm, in a way no creature could ever be or ever has been. It fights like a hunter. Oh no, is my prediction coming true? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. I'm kidding. Owen pulls himself from the forest floor, brushing dirt from his clothes, his skin aglow, a swirl of scarlet and orange like fire. I bring my hand to my face as they circle one another, seeing crimson leaking between my fingers, staining my skin. Omen calls to me, dodging its attempted attacks with relative ease, giving it as good as it gets, but still struggling. I find myself frozen, my breathing heavy, but everything has been laid out before me. I curse my stupidity for not seeing it sooner. As if the creature can read my thoughts, as if it knows that I've figured it out. It gives something of a smile from that grotesque maw. It pushes Omen aside once again with a startling display of strength, like a mere afterthought, and heads for me, transfixed. Its eyes are constant on my form, long, heavy strides gaining quick momentum in my direction. I cannot move, I cannot think. It's all a haze now. The only coherent thought I have is, if I'm going to die here, all I can hope is that Omen makes it out. It draws back its gnarled arm, and I brace for impact. It's too soon for me to steel myself against this assault, and I feel my body shocked with pain. Then I see Omen. He's sexy as hell right now. No, I see the Prince of Hells. Hells? Is there more than one hell? I see the Devil's Son. Every inch of his body screams power, and I watch in awe as he steps forward, the ground beneath him set alight, the sky darkening above us. Thunder rumbles in the distance, and Omen's transformation distracts it. The creature turns to face him with another sorrowful groan, not grin. At that moment, there's clarity in me, my body finally recalling every ounce of training I've had throughout my life. The instinct to survive saturating every nerve, I reach for my weapon despite the numbness in my fingers. I feel stronger, movements more certain, and as I see Omen pull back his fists, I strike with everything I have. I drive my weapon into the back of his neck with a guttural scream. It swats at me blindly like a wild animal, trying to shake me off. It stumbles feverishly in random directions, but considerably more sluggish than before. Again, it attempts to remove the thing that will help it meet its maker, but I relent. I hold on, plunging it deeper until I can hear the sickening crack of bone. The creature's voice is smaller now, shaking, as if the life from it is finally torn asunder. It halts in its movement until the thing falls to its knees and pounds the dusty earth. I wait, and I wait, until I'm certain it is no longer. Finally, there's resounding silence and I catch my breath. Well, try to, anyway. I look for Omen in the aftermath, and I watch as he forces himself to his feet, his glamour falling back into place with startling ease. Omen. He quickly rushes to my side, helping me stand with steady hands.
You did it!
Could you also turn back into the sexy form with all the muscles and stuff? I'm just asking. We all wanted to see it. Oh yes, I did do it. Time to kiss him. You get every chance to kiss him, you will. Don't kiss me while you're set upon fire, though. Don't want to get third-degree burns on my lips. That would be bad. I feel overwhelmed, my body aching, but we really did do it. I catch Omen about the waist, yanking him close. He lands against my chest, not cheek, with an oof. and he laughs when I press my lips to him. It really said oof. He's warmer than before, somehow, and his fingers curl in my clothing as he tries to stop me from escaping.
Can we go home now?
I agree. I shake my head, clutching his shirt, just needing to feel him close. I should find August. Uh-oh. We did it. It's dead. It's over. Something seems a little bad, Ddog. We did it. We did it. Hey? Ddog? Then everything goes black. Oh no, that sounds like a perfect cliffhanger for next time, you all. I hope you all had a wonderful day today. Just want to know if you liked this video, please click the like button. It makes me feel good about myself. Also comment, do you know any other visual novels I would like to, I could play? I'd really enjoy that. Let's find out what happens next time. Goodbye, everybody.